beautiful. Welcome back to Nat's Beautiful Life. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my 2020 reading goals as well as going over how I did with my 2019 reading goals. So if you are new to this channel, hi, my name is Natasha and I do videos on books, beauty, bullet journaling, things like that. And also I am a little disabled at the moment. I have a big boot on my right leg that is because I broke my ankle and had to have surgery, and so I'm doing the best I can right now. Well, if you like this video, you like me, click thumbs up, subscribe, do the little bell, all of that stuff. It really helps me out. And without further ado, let's get into the video. My goal for 2019 was to read 65 books, and I actually wound up reading 96 books. So I kind of blew that out of the water. But of those 65 books, I wanted to kind of put some different categories in there. And the first one was I wanted to do 12 nonfiction books, so that would be like one a month. And I actually wound up doing 22 of those nonfiction books. So I really got into like a little groove with a couple of different things, and not only nonfiction and like memoirs or like case studies, things like that, but also there are some that they're nonfiction, but they're told almost in a narrative type of way. So I found a couple of those books that I really did enjoy as well. And if you'd like me to talk about some of those standout nonfiction books, I think I'm going to do a video on that because I did read quite a few. And if you'd like to see that video, then be sure you're subscribed and also let me know in the comments. All right, and the next thing I had was 3 big books that were 500 pages or more, because I wanted to kind of expand in that. So I actually wound up reading 11 big books, and looking at my notes here, of that I did 5 books that were between 500 and 599 pages. I did 2 books that were between 600 and 699, and I did 3 that were over 700 and 1 that was over 800. And one of the goals that helped me meet that goal was I did want to finish the Harry Potter series. And as you know, especially from the 4th book on, they're between 600 and 800 plus pages. So that kind of helped me boost that goal a little bit. Then I had 4 rereads, which I did complete that as well, just in the nick of time. And I have also done, well, I already talked about that. I finished the Harry Potter series. So with 65 books, I read 96, 12 nonfiction, read 22, 3 big books, I did 11, 4 rereads, I did 4, and I did finish the Harry Potter series. Okay, so that's my 2019 goals. I'm very happy with them. So let's talk 2020. All right, so my goal this year is to read some of those really big books that have been sitting on my shelf or that I haven't picked up yet, and I've kind of been on my radar for a while. And so because of that, I have lowered my book goal even more just to take the pressure off of me. So 40 is what I have put. Will I blow that out of the water? More than likely, but it is a mind thing with me, and I just kind of have to chillax and just be able to give myself the time to relax and read those bigger books. So that's basically why I set that goal a bit lower. I'd like to do 5 big books, and the criteria is 600 pages or more. I have a lot of books that are in that 500 range, and I'm just like, they really don't take me that long to read. But some of the books that I have upcoming that are on my shelf that are 600 or more, those are the ones that are kind of daunting at first when you look at that big book, and it's just like, I feel like now I have the ability, because I have read some bigger books and it didn't take me as long as I thought, or if it did, it was an enjoyable experience, that I can pick up a bigger book and enjoy it and not feel pressured to constantly you know, read to get through it. I actually want to enjoy the story and everything. So I think that like a 500-page book doesn't really faze me anymore if I'm enjoying it. If I'm not enjoying it, it's like, oh, will it just be over? But I am a DNFer. I can DNF a book if it's really bad and I'm really not enjoying it. But sometimes it's just like, maybe I'm not in the mood for it, but I still want to just go ahead and finish it. I'm close enough or whatever. So anyway, so my criteria for my big books is 600 or more. And I do have some on my books to read in 2020 list that are way above 600, so that'll work. I'm putting myself down for 2 rereads this year, just so I don't, once again, pressure myself. I have a couple of books that I would really like to reread. It's just, I haven't picked them up because there's so many newer books or like books I haven't read before that I want to read. So I am just kind of lowering the pressure on that, but absolutely do want to reread. Like, I really would like to read or reread Uprooted by Naomi Novik again. I love that book. I did reread the first Hunger Games last year. I'd like to do the next one at least. Just because I watched the movie so much. It's like my security blanket movie. Like when I in the middle of the night or can't sleep, I want to watch that. Or like, yeah, I've had some rough stuff the past year or something with sickness, people passing away, things like that. And so sometimes I just get in those moods where I just want to disengage, and Hunger Games is like a good way for me to do that. So yeah, because I just love those movies. For some reason, I just love those movies. But anyway, so like last year when I read The Hunger Games, it was for book club. We were doing like a revisit an old favorite month. And I actually took like 17 pages of notes, like little pages, not 8.5 by 11, but little pages of notes of like the differences between the movie and the book. So I am excited to go back to the books and kind of like check out those differences again. Anyway, and then I have once again 12 nonfiction. This month, so far, I've not read any nonfiction. I have one that's like kind of in my head, which would also be a reread. So maybe I'll do that. But 12 nonfiction, so I like nonfiction because you can learn stuff from it, and it's just some of the stuff's really interesting. It's good to read history. In fact, I'm reading a fiction book right now that has a lot of real historical things in it, and in between like some of the different sections there's actual like pieces of history, like historical documentation and things about things that she mentions within the chapters, and it's really interesting. And I know at the end of the book she has lots of pictures and things like that, so I like that kind of stuff too. But I mean, that's a fiction book with some real stuff in it. But I love that kind of stuff. I just love to learn about it and all that stuff. So those are my goals. Nutshell: 40 books. Of that, 5 big books, 600 pages or more, 2 rereads, and 12 nonfiction books. I do have a specific list of books that I absolutely want to read in 2020. This is the year to actually do that. And I have already read one, and I'm working on the second one. So it's a list that I actually wrote down, and I can actually go to and check them off once a month or something like that. So I will do a separate video on those books, and I did have one of those lists for 2019, and I actually did better than I thought on that. So be sure you're subscribed so you won't miss that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon in my next video right here on Nat's Beautiful Life. Thank you again for watching. Love you guys so much. Have a great day, gorgeous.